Hi, and welcome to How and Why. And for this video, we're going to look at Eruv Tavshilin. The rabbis have ordained that in order to preserve the sanctity of Yom Tov, or indeed of Shabbos for that matter, one mustn't spend the precious time one should be spending enjoying Yom Tov and Shabbos, preparing for another day, even if that other day is another day of Yom Tov or Shabbos. This prohibition is called Hachana. Because Yom Tov falls on Thursday and Friday this year, we need to make an Eruv Tavshilin on Wednesday, on Erev Yom Tov, before Yom Tov, to allow us to cook on Friday for Shabbos. The Rabbonim instituted Eruv Tavshilin as a way of combining food that you've prepared before the onset of Yom Tov, that you're going to eat on Shabbos, with food that you're going to prepare on Yom Tov to eat on Shabbos. By combining these two sets of foods into a halachic single entity, the word Erev means a combination or merger, one creates an Eruv Tavshilin and makes the whole process possible. Note that the Eruv Tavshilin only allows you to cook on the Friday, on the second day of Yom Tov, for Shabbos. It doesn't allow you to cook on the Thursday for Shabbos, or indeed on the Thursday for the second day of Yom Tov. Well, how do you do it? Well, you set aside before Yom Tov food that is at least 100 cubic centimetres in size, such as a challah or a matzah, in the case of Pesach, and an item of cooked food at least 55 cubic centimetres in size. Incidentally, the word tavshilin in the phrase Eruv Tavshilin means cooked food, such as chicken or meat. We've got chicken soup here, or you can use an egg, or the chicken that you're going to have Friday night. But both foods need to be items that are going to be that are prepared before the onset of Yom Tov, and will definitely be eaten on Shabbos. So it's worth putting a post-it note on them, or putting them in a safe place, wrapping them in a bag with a note on them, to make sure that you remember to use those particular challahs or those particular cooked food on Shabbos. You take the baked food and the cooked food, and you say the blessing, and then afterwards there's a paragraph in Aramaic that you say. If you're like me and your Aramaic's a little bit rusty, please feel free to say it in English. It's important that you understand what you're saying. These can be found in most Sidurim, and certainly at the front of your machzor as well. By combining food that has been cooked before Yom Tov with food that one plans to cook on Friday, on Yom Tov, which could theoretically still be eaten on Yom Tov, so it needs to be mostly prepared before the onset of Shabbos, if one wished, one merges them into a single halachic entity, and as we said, that's where the word Erev comes from. And so just as the food one has prepared on Erev Yom Tov can be eaten on Shabbos, the food that will be prepared on Friday, on Yom Tov, can also be eaten on Shabbos. So you might say, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll cook all my Shabbos food well before Yom Tov, don't need to make an Eruv Tavshilin. But it's still a good idea to do so, and here's a few reasons why. Firstly, it's a mitzvah. There's a bracha to say. Got to be a good thing. Secondly, you never know. Things change. Thirdly, and this is a bit of a technical point, you need it for when you're lighting your Shabbos candles. You light your Shabbos candles just before sunset, the onset of Shabbos. But Yom Tov doesn't go out until nightfall, which is about an hour or so later. So you're preparing for Shabbos by lighting those candles on Yom Tov. And that gets us back to the original problem of hachana, of preparation. And to get round that, we need the Eruv Tavshilin. I should also point out, whilst we're on the subject of lighting Shabbos candles, that you need a 48-ounce candle to do so. And you light that before you light your Yom Tov candles on the Wednesday night, and you keep that flame going until you use it for lighting your Shabbos candles. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you found it helpful. Chag Sameach, good Yom Tov, and Shabbat Shalom.